You certainly had to hope that that was your son screaming even before you heard it, correct?
I didn't hope for anything. I just simply listened to the tape.
Trayvon Martin's mother defends her belief that it is her son's screams in the background of a 911 tape made the night George Zimmerman admits he shot and killed Trayvon Martin. Late this afternoon, the prosecution rested its case in the Zimmerman murder trial. After 2 weeks of testimony from 36 witnesses, now the defense will present its case. Pennsylvania lawyer Enrique Latoison joins us live now to weigh in on the trial. First of all, there was such a strong focus on who was the aggressor before the shooting took place. Today we heard Trayvon Martin's mother on the stand and her visible reaction to hearing the 911 call with screams in the background, screams she says belong to her son. How crucial was that testimony and how damaging to the defense?
Well, at this point, it's a very important testimony because the Commonwealth's other witnesses have been inconsistent on whether or not this was Trayvon's voice or not. They've said at some point that they weren't sure whether or not it was his voice, and then they've changed on direct and said it was his voice. So it was very important because the mother has always been consistent, and it was important that the mother was able to get up there and say, that was my son's voice. That was my son's voice that I heard screaming.
Now, we also saw defense attorney Mark O'Mara giving condolences to Trayvon's mother as she took the stand, many believing that was a move to counter a tape the jury witness of Zimmerman saying he had no regrets over what happened and felt the entire incident was God's will. What do you make of that move by O'Mara?
Well, I do think that move was a very calculated move. Obviously, the videos of Mr. Zimmerman testifying before the different investigators has made him out to be someone who hasn't cared or hasn't showed any remorse. By him getting up there and saying, you know, my condolences, I apologize what happened to your son, that's doing two things. One, it's showing the jury that he's not a bully. Remember, he's about to cross-examine Trayvon's mother. And secondly, it is showing some sympathy towards his client and almost apologizing in a way.
The medical examiner also took the stand today saying Trayvon was alive for 1 to 10 minutes after the gunshot and was still able to feel pain before his death. How relevant is that?
It's actually not relevant at all, but it's a good move by the prosecution to get to the emotion of the jury. But once again, the problem with the prosecution's witnesses have been, I mean, this was an inconsistent statement. Originally, it was 1 to 3 minutes, and then today testified it was 1 to 10 minutes. So with that testy exchange between the medical examiner and the defense attorney, you might have lost the whole effect that the prosecution was trying to get and trying to get to the emotion of the jury.
Pennsylvania attorney Enrique Latoison, thank you so much for your insight. We will continue to watch this case as the defense prepares to present its case. Thank you.